And good Saturday to you. Reverend Phil Anderson here, pastor of Oakland United Methodist Church and Kansas Avenue United Methodist Church. Here it is now, the weekend edition of Fresh Bread for Saturday, February 25th, 2023. So glad you could join us today. Hey, we're just going to have a little fun today. We've been looking at the book of James the last 5 days. We're going to take a short break from that today and just talk a little bit about things that are going on in our church, families. And we, first of all, want to tell you, keep in prayer those that need it. We have several people in our church families that really need our prayers. I trust that you're doing that. And again, we want to make sure we're giving God about 15 minutes a day. That's that 15-minute challenge I was telling you about. 15 minutes a day with God. In that time frame, you can pray for your church family members. You can pray for the church. You can pray for me. You can pray for our neighborhood. You can pray for our city, for our state, for our nation, for the world. Don't bring anything up to God that you would not want Him to hear, because He will hear all your prayers. Trust me. There's nothing that you say to God that He's not going to hear. He's a God that wants to have us bring our prayers to Him. Don't pray to God like, well, He's not listening. He is listening, and He wants to hear from you. He wants to hear from me. So again, tell God exactly what's on your heart, just like you would if you had a very close friend. And we have that access to God now through Jesus. He gives us the access to God. And so we have this connection now we didn't have before. Jesus bridged that gap between sinful man and a holy God. And now we walk over that bridge and we have direct access to God as His adopted children. And by that, we have every right that Jesus has. So really, God's put us in a great position through Christ. We have all these blessings, all these membership credits, if you will. And God's just got so many great things in store for us. I pray that you will share your time with the Lord. Give Him some of that time, just like you would if you had a friend and you wanted to spend a little time with your friend and get to know him better. Well, you need to do that with the Lord as well. John Powell, the Catholic priest, once said that communication is the lifeblood of any relationship. If we don't communicate with God, we're not going to have much of a relationship with Him. And I think it goes back to, what is prayer exactly? And I can't say I'm an expert. I will tell you what I think it is, and that's just communication with God. It's just talking to Him. It's also listening. Think about it for a minute. If you are in a relationship with somebody, but you do all the talking, there's not much of a relationship there, is there? That person knows everything about you and all your concerns and all your thoughts, but you haven't even given that person the courtesy of listening to that individual's thoughts and prayers. Or prayer concerns. So get to know people. As you go through life, you have family members. Just get to know them, spend time with them. Don't be so intent on talking to them, but listen. And then with God, the same way. Don't be so intent on just constantly talking to Him, but listen to Him. Slow down. Let God speak to you. Be ready to hear that still small voice that's going to come to you. God, a lot of times, isn't going to shout over the noise. If you haven't figured out how to turn down the volume, well, that's something you'll have to do, because God, a lot of times, is going to have you do that yourself. You have to show God that you're willing to turn down the volume and that you're not going to sit there and just try to have God shout out everything else. Make space for God. Do it in the quietness of your day. Maybe you spend that 15 minutes aside. Remember, I was telling everybody last week at one of the services, I don't know if it was one that you were at or not, but I mentioned use your phone and set a time specifically to spend that 15 minutes with God. So maybe you want to set it at an odd time, like 5:59 or 5:52 or something, and that's going to remind you, hey, I got to get ready for 15 minutes with the Lord. I'm going to start at 6 o'clock, let's just say, for instance, and go till at least 6:15, and just maybe get away from the television, or away from the radio, away from the music, away from the video games, away from whatever it is that's got you all concerned, away from the email, away from the Facebook. Just shut everything down. It's okay to have some soft instrumental music, maybe some praise music, and just listen for the voice of God. He will come and meet you, and He will talk to you. And I pray that that is what we'll do these next few days as we go through Lent. Well, tomorrow, don't forget, we should have some really exciting services. 9:30 a.m. at Oakland. Sunday school starts at 8:45. So Oakland, 8:45 Sunday school, 9:30 a.m. worship. Kansas Avenue, 9:30 a.m. Sunday school with The Chosen Season 3, and worship at 11. Hope to see you at one or both of those services tomorrow. Until then, have a great rest of the day here on Saturday. Take care. God bless you. We'll hope to talk to you real soon.